everyone, and welcome to another episode of Saints and Feasts. Today, the Armenian Church celebrates the feast of the 12 apostles plus the 13th apostle, and that's Saint Paul. Now we all know when Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus, later on he hung himself and died. So the apostles gathered and they prayed together in order for God to guide them to pick another person to replace Judas. Because when Christ chose 12 apostles, there was a symbolic definition for number 12, because 12 represents the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes from which the entire nation, the entire civilization was distributed. And because Christ wanted them to go to the entire world and preach the gospel, so he chose 12 apostles. So when they prayed, the name came down to 2, and after that they cast lots and they chose Saint Matthias. Now Saint Matthias was one of the 72 followers of Christ, because as we know, besides his 12 disciples, Christ had people following him. And Saint Matthias was one of them, and following Christ from his baptism, that is, from Jordan, when Christ was baptized by the hands of John the Baptist. Now, coming to the 13th apostle, and that's Saint Paul. Now, his name wasn't Paul all the time, his name was Saul. He was born in Tarsus, Cilicia, again, modern day Turkey, and despite him being a Roman citizen, he spent almost all of his life in Jerusalem, and that helped him in his mission, in his journeys in preaching the gospel. And it's no wonder how that 14 books out of the 27 books of the New Testament are attributed to Saint Paul. And the place that we see Saul being called Paul, it's in Acts 13 verse 19. Now there's an interesting thing that the Armenian Church has 3 days dedicated to Saint Paul, or 3 feasts during which Saint Paul is remembered, is commemorated. One of them is this feast, the feast of the 12 apostles plus the 13th, which happens 1 week before Vartavar. The second feast dedicated to Saint Paul happens on June 29, and in some churches June 30th. And the third feast is the feast of Saint Peter and Paul, which is commemorated the first Monday after December the 24th. So stay tuned for these 3 upcoming videos, and I can't wait to share them with you. Till then, have a great day, stay safe.